Okay, let me just repeat myself. We have one table for the manager, very simple. For every application, we have one row. In the row, we'll have a table, of course, we'll have ID, and we have the manager content. That will be a JSON field. JSON field means we can put there a whole dictionary. For every manager, we link it to a tab files, a tab table. Every tab will have its own row. So the tab will have a name, and of course will have its own content. How to build the screen will have several things, as we will see. But all of them can be in one dictionary. We don't have, before I had like three of them. Now I want to combine them as one dictionary. We don't really have to have three fields. If you remember, I have HTML, and I said I'm going to remove it. I have functions, then I removed it. And we have objects, and I removed it. So I'm going to put all of them in the same dictionary. So it makes a whole mess in my code, but it's better to do it now and then move on. That's what meaning on agile methodology. You had something working, like this one is working. Now we want to improve it for the long run. So we know this is the best way to organize it. The same things I did with the corporate valuation, if you remember, I moved the data to a dictionary, and then even I went another step. From the dictionaries, we pulled the data and we made a cube. Similarly, we most likely, not with this data, this one we really don't have a reason to touch because they are only designing the screen. They don't have the data. You got it? Of the application. The data of every application will go in here. When we have the model, we will build up many tables. It might be that I have a table for every tab. You got it? And
Yeah.
that's beautiful. And then, but we have to know to tell the manager how to find the right application. So I change the structure. So I'm moving forward to in my development. By the way I work, it's well-known methodology called Agile. Very few really know how to implement it the right way. This is the right way. So I will spend some time until Michael will join us also. I kind of broke up the whole code and started all over. So let's start with
So
where I am, and I explain. This is the main file, as I mentioned before. The main file is the manager, the main object, sorry. The manager manages the tabs, and manager is also managing the editor. This is the editor, and he's managing the tabs. So far, so good.
yeah, so good.
Now, it has all the function necessary. Let's say adding a tab, it's a function of the manager, but I changed the structure. And the manager, if I look at the manager, what does it do? When it's being created, I added one more things. We had the name of the manager, but I added an application. So the manager knows which application he's managing. Okay? Why I need that? Because in the application, I will know which tables I can approach and how to contact tables that belongs to that application. Okay, so far so good?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had to go to the core application and go to the advanced tabs, which is our basic file that every application inherits from that. There's only one HTML that extends this one. So when I do the change in the object is right here. And the change was very simple. The only things I had to add is the application. You see that? That's what I added. Fair enough?
Yeah.
So who knows which application it is? it will be the view of this application. So if I go to the business and I go to the view, if before and I was transferring to the home HTML, I was transferring only the name of the manager. Now I'm also telling him which application is going to manage. Fair enough? So far, so good. That's easy. Where do I get that name? That's also easy. It's right here. When you go to the apps, the name is right there. When you create the application, you automatically create that and you know that. Fair enough? So
Fair.
for now, at least, I might find a trick that I don't really have to put it manually. I can read it automatically, but for now, I didn't really want to waste my time. So this is really, if you notice, the only change in the application is really just adding that I'm also transferring the application name. If you go to other application, the second one, the macroeconomics, the only things I had to do, it's look exactly the same. I just added app to tell him which application it is. Fair enough?
Fair.
That's beautiful, elegant, very, very elegant. Eventually, we'll package up the whole things. And this one is done. It's really done. This one, it's a basis for all the other templates. And they're extending this one, putting it right here, done the work for all of them. Meaning, this application being created now, and we have one more very important variable that I'm going to use. It's called my app, and I will use it in the future. For now, even for this round, I'm not using it. Probably after the next update, the second, not the next update, the following one, I will be using it. I will take example. We will start developing application, two application, the macroeconomics, and we will develop the business simulation. And as we develop those, we will enhance this object. Okay, that's the plan. Okay, so I added one more variable. The rest looks familiar. And this one wasn't affected. The one is being affected by my change big time was set tapes. What happened is there's two things that have changed that I had to take care of, and I'm still in the middle of converting it, is the set tabs and add tab. There's an add, there should be delete tab, and there should be add tab as well. Where is it? No, okay, I mean, I'll come to that. We'll look at the set tabs, and then we will see, no, in fact, sorry. Let me look at the initial. Let me start with this one. Let's see what this one does. This one basically just, it's not really supposed to do much. It's just creating the infrastructure. We have seen that before.
Yeah.
This one doesn't really do much. Just building up 3 divs, one for the tables. The one is for this one for the tabs place, and one the container that hold all the containers of the tabs. So this is really not being affected. Then we have, this one is important function, the next one. There, when I'm building up, no, not this one. This one, it's where we're building up all those buttons, the 3 buttons. We have a button of the add, we have a button of delete, and a button that can open the editor. Eventually, I will throw away the editor. I'm not sure. I will see. Because it will open up automatically anyway, so I might don't need the button, but I will keep it for now. So let's look at what happened in the add. Now we start getting into deeper. When I click on add tab, what am I doing? Basically, let's do and look at the code as it's happening. I click again, add tab, and something open up, correct? So let's see what the code that does that. I have a button, I'm creating a button. The title of the button is add tab, which is really just like I created this button. add tab. Let me make it bigger a little bit. It doesn't like me. Let me cancel. Make it a little bigger so you can see it. I have add tab. So I'm building up a tab, a button, giving it a name called add tab, which you're already familiar with. Then I'm adding a listener, meaning when you click on it, what's going to happen? So far, so good?
Yeah.
Good. So what's going to happen when I click on it? So the first things I'm telling him, prompt the user to enter a tab name. This is really what this one does. So I'm clicking on it. That's what came up. That's the prompt. When I write the name, let's say SEO, always keep lowercase. He automatically will put uppercase, and you will see the next things after I've fixed everything. So I'm building up an editor. You can change those names and all of that. You will see. So I put SEO. So after I do, and I'm going to do OK, what's going to happen after I click OK? Whatever name I typed in, it will put it in this variable in JavaScript. Okay? Whatever name I type, like I typed SEO, tab name underscore will be SEO. I make it lowercase. In fact, it doesn't matter what you type. I just made sure that it will be lowercase here. So if you type uppercase, it won't make a difference. It will convert everything to a lowercase. Because I want the names to be all lowercase. It's very case sensitive. Python is case sensitive and JavaScript is case sensitive. So, okay. Now what do? That's the most important. I'm making a dictionary. That dictionary, I'm going to send to the link to the function that I talked about in the view that take care of all the communication to the objects that connect to the database in the core. I will repeat that. We're going to call in here in the post, we're going to call this link. This link we already have defined in the HTML of the code, which is right in here. So when we're moving, if you have a good eye, you can see that the link, where is the link? Here we go. Active function link. We can use here Jinja to get the link going to the core, and the core takes us to the function activate function. Remember that? We have seen that before. So it is communicating to that. So we have the link right in here, and we're keeping it inside. By the way, it's being kept right here. So we don't have to, we're transferring it only once, and we're keeping it right here. So we always can use it from here every time we need to use it. So far, so good?
Yeah, so good.
Good. So I'm going to call that, but the only things I'm going to transfer to it always a dictionary. I'm going to transfer a dictionary that's going to go to this link, which is in the core view. And here I'm just going to watch it and show it to you, but eventually I'm going to remove. What do I have here? Very simple. The objects always going to be advanced tabs because that's what I made it. So theoretically, I didn't really need to transfer it, but I did. So I make it more general. Okay?
Yes, doctor.
The second one is the object himself name. I mean, it's the name of the advanced tab manager. So I'm going to transfer to this object. Secondly, I'm transferring also the application because those two things going to build up the object. Fair enough? If I have an object, and that, no, not this one. Let me remove it. Here we go. This object going to take two variables, the management's name and the application name, and is keeping them in. And eventually I'm going to use both of them. Okay? So when I create it, I'm going to put those two. For here, I don't really need the application, but eventually I'm going to add more functions in which the application will allow me to connect to table that exist in the application that that manager is managing. Okay? I will need to use it. So that's why I said if I'm ready, let's make a jump a little bit. Beautiful. So I need from here to transfer those two variables. That's what I'm doing. Second, which functions do I want to activate? So if I'm looking at the add, okay, now in here, when I click on add button, I want him to activate add tab, okay? And that one, when I activate it, I will, it's like we'll get to here. After he create the object, he's going to activate the add tab. Then the add tab will do the work, how to add a new row in the tab database, okay? That's the idea. Okay, now we'll go back to here. Okay, so finally, I might want to tell him information he needs. For example, the tab name, if I'm getting to the add tab needs to know which name to give to this tab. So that's why I'm transferring to it also the tab name. The beauty here, when this dictionary gets to this link, which is, in another word, is getting to the view. Let's look at that one more time. It's really worth even looking at it many times. I get to the view. And in the view, you see the activate function. We get the dictionary in the request, and we already know how to get it. But don't forget that is a string. And we need to convert a string to Python dictionary. That's why we use eval. So this dict becomes to be a dictionary in Python. Now, all what I do is really take all those pieces, the objects, ATM, application, functions, and parameters. Got it?
Yes,
Taking
doctor.
all of them together, I'm building up a string of command in Python, which is really the object, which is the advanced tab, correct? Then I'm adding those two variables to create the object. So this one would create the object. And then I'm asking him activate the function. In this case, going to be the add, okay? And I'm transferring to that add function the parameters. So inside the function, I will be able to know what the name of the new tab is supposed to be. When I have the string, I call it val again, is going to do this work, meaning is going to this object, goes to the tab, it gets the parameters, I pull the tab name from the parameters, so far so good.
Yes,
And
doctor.
now I go and access the database of the tab manager, make sure that the tab manager exists, because if it's the first time I'm adding a tab, the tag manager will not be there. So I'm making sure that it will be created if it's not. And if it is created, the end tells me it's a new. If it's already created, I don't have to create it again. If it is created, I'm just adding a new row and I'm putting in the content the last number to be 0 because he is in charge of giving numbers. And then I'm saving it. After I have the manager, I create the new tab. That's the second table. And that's become to be also simpler, but I'm linking it up to the manager because this tab is supposed to be linked to that specific manager of that application. And I'm telling him the tab name is supposed to be such and such. He automatically will create a content which is empty. Therefore, when he creates the tab, it's going to be empty. So what I'm going to do, I'm defining a dictionary. And inside the dictionary, I'm just putting the tab name so I will know Oops, sorry. So I will know inside what will be the content. I'm putting it in the tab content in the table, and I'm saving it. So the content of the tab in the database now is this. Okay, let's see how that works really. Let's go back. I click SEO, click OK, bingo. I have SEO. We'll come back to how we create that one, but let's look at the database. Did I use this one or this one? No, I used this one. I'm going to change that. I'm going to use the 127 on my computer and we'll play with it.
Doctor,
Yeah.
Mike has joined.
Oh, good. Hey, Michael.
Hello, doctor.
Good to see you. Where are you? I don't. Yeah, okay, let me see. Good. We recorded that. I think it will be a good review for you as well. So we'll just continue and you catch up with us. I know that you can catch up with us. So let's see what happened here. What happened? Why he doesn't like me? Yeah, maybe I just close that. Yeah, I did. Let me put here KK. And here we go, it's just doing some stuff. Let me delete here. Let me do admin. I will delete why don't okay. Let me go into the core and delete all the managers. So we don't have anything. We will delete also, of course, the tabs that belongs to it. So now that it's empty, this one shouldn't give me anything. It give me something, but ignore it. Okay, let's do it here. I click on Add Tab. I click Amos. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me just take that one for a second. Hi, Charles. Hello? Yeah, I'm with you.